Welcome back to Echo Base Network, guys. I'm your host, Nick, and today we're talking more Disney Star Wars disaster. Um, so Ubisoft, if you guys aren't aware, is in the process of making a game called Star Wars Outlaws, and we're gonna hit two different things on this. The first part of this is Ubisoft funnels more money into Star Wars Outlaws marketing than any other game. So they are really pushing hard to get the marketing campaign out on this, to make everybody aware that this game exists and that you should definitely spend your hard-earned money to get it and to play it. So let's see what they say here. Ubisoft hopes that Star Wars Outlaws will become a highly successful game with a huge player base. However, a 10-minute gameplay video released on IGN's YouTube channel suggests that may not be the case. Fans seemed outraged at the quality of the game, claiming it looked unfinished and had uneven FPS, which is frames per second, if you guys did not know. However, Ubisoft is confident that it has funneled more money into Star Wars Outlaws marketing than for any of its other games. Now, that's definitely a sign of success. Just dump a bunch of money into the marketing and it's going to do good. I don't know who's running things over there, but that's not really how it works. This information comes from a recent financial update from Ubisoft, where the company's CEO revealed that the firm has been putting more money and effort than ever into the marketing of Star Wars Outlaws. With this, he said that he expects a strong launch for Star Wars Outlaws based on positive community sentiment. Wow. Okay. All right. Remember that, guys. Based on positive community sentiment, which is highly contradictory to the immense amount of negative feedback they received when they released the gameplay video for Star Wars Outlaws. Yes. It was so intensely negative that a financial advisor from the Bank of America even asked if they would consider delaying the game, which received a firm no as a response. They basically want to get this thing out there as quick as possible and try to recoup as much money as they can on this. They don't want to put any more money into the game to make it better, to make it good. And before I continue, let me say this. Ubisoft is one of the worst gaming studios on the entire planet. One of the worst. The Division, I don't so there was a game that they teased back in, I think it was like 2014 or 15 or something, sometime around there, that time frame. A game called The Division, which was a third person sort of society's collapsed, everything's in chaos, sort of third person tactical shooter type game. And the trailer looked amazing. Everything on it was just like, oh my gosh, this looks so badass. I could not wait to get this game. Got the game, and it was nothing like the trailer. Nothing. Looked nothing like it. It was a bait and switch. It was a complete scam, and fans were pissed. The only company, in my opinion, that's worse than Ubisoft is EA. EA is by far the worst. Ubisoft is right behind them, though. But let's continue. Yavis Guillemont, I'm sure I completely butchered that. But anyways, also said it's among the most awaited games of the industry this year. Really? Maybe I waited to see how bad this thing's going to flop. But I honestly don't know that many people that are interested in getting this game or playing it. I'm not paying for it. I'm not playing it for sure. I love playing video games, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. This is right up my alley. And I refuse. I refuse to get the game. I refuse to play it because I already know what kind of company Ubisoft is, and I know this game is going to be trash. And even from the trailers that I watched, it's going to be trash. Tons of stuff tons of stuff in the game are behind a paywall. So yeah, I got a really strong feeling it's going to be a disaster. The second half of 2024 is set to see massive releases such as Call of Duty Black Ops 6, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and Silent Hill 2 remake. All three of those games will blow this Star Wars game out of the water, and that shouldn't be the case. The Star Wars game should be one of the biggest projects out there, but it's going to fail. I'm telling you right now, guys, it's going to fail. Plenty of other huge contenders are out there for the most anticipated game of the year, so it'll be interesting to see how it shapes up for Star Wars Outlaws. According to Ubisoft, more footage will be released later to showcase more of the gameplay from Star Wars Outlaws. The dev team is confident this gameplay will generate a huge amount of hype for the upcoming game. I bet the opposite. It's going to generate a huge amount of negative backlash for the upcoming game, and it's only going to make it worse. But let's go ahead and look at another article here. New Star Wars gameplay footage revealed, and fans aren't impressed. I'm not going to go through this whole article, but it's just another one that talks about how bad the gameplay reveal was received. Ubisoft confirmed Star Wars Outlaws will release on August 30th, despite mixed reactions to a 10-minute gameplay video. The gameplay footage revealed by IGN was criticized for poor graphics and gameplay, even after quality warnings. And then, of course, Ubisoft CFO assured that the game has gone gold and promised high-quality content showcasing the game's open world. I guarantee you it's not going to be real open world either. But we'll see. We'll see. Will there be a Star Wars Outlaws delay? We already read. No, there will not be. But let's take a look at this gameplay footage that's being talked about. And just for perspective, this thing has 635,000 views over the past 6 days. 11,000 people have liked it, and 50,000 people have downvoted it. The rest of the people who viewed didn't even bother even giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down. So that says a lot. And the thing about marketing is your best marketing is word of mouth. Definitely put some money into the marketing, get it out there, let people be aware of it, but you don't have to spend a ton of money in this. Just your product should speak for itself. And this one is speaking for itself in a negative way. But we see here the explosion, the animation, her flying through the air like this. This literally looks like PS3 graphics. The Uncharted 2, which was the first Uncharted game I played, looked better than this. In this ship design, I don't know what it is with modern day Star Wars stuff, but everything's so boxy and rectangle and squared looking. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the landscape, the rocks and stuff. This looks terrible, terrible. And you saw when she was riding how bad it looked, and then as soon as she stopped, the frames and the everything on the landscape kind of cleared up. Not good, not good at all. I mean, look at this. This looks terrible. I mean, look at her face. Like this right here doesn't look bad. Her belt, some of the stuff doesn't look bad. But a lot of it looks terrible. C-3PO's head doesn't look bad. And I'm not going to go through this whole 10 minutes. If you guys want to watch this whole thing, go check it out. But this thing is getting destroyed. Absolutely destroyed by fans. And I, for one, am not going to be getting this. I'm not going to be playing it. I already know that it's going to be terrible, and it's going to be loaded down with crap that you have to pay extra to be able to get or do. And I'm not going to support it. I absolutely refuse to support this game. And the fact that they're not listening to the fan base, I hate that ship design. Absolutely terrible. The fact that they're not listening to the fan base is just goes to show what kind of company they are. They should have saw the backlash and the reaction and said, you know what, guys, we hear you. We are going to delay this game, and we're going to put more time and effort into it before we release it. We want to make sure that it is the best possible version of the game we can actually get it to before we release it for you guys, because we respect the players and respect the people that are giving us their money to be able to play this. But everything they are doing is the exact opposite. People are not wanting to spend their money on a game that has large portions of it behind a paywall, like this whole Jabba the Hutt mission, that you got to pay extra for this. A lot of people don't know that. You have to pay extra to be able to play this mission, which is ridiculous. I put over 300 hours in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is my game of the year. And I didn't have to pay extra for anything. Nothing. And I got over 300 hours of gameplay. I went through it in normal mode. I went through it in hard mode, did all the hard stuff. I actually just got the platinum trophy for it yesterday. And that game is great. It looks the open world on it blows this out of the water. It's like night and day difference. And just so you guys know, I mean, this is 1080p, 60 frames a second quality is what I got it on. So on my end, I didn't put this on a crappy, 480p to try to make it look even worse. I mean, this is as good as it looks. But I'm going to tell you right now, fans are going to be disappointed. So if you are looking at getting this, I would highly recommend waiting on reviews or waiting for this thing to go on sale and not paying full price for this. Do not pay full price for this game, guys. Do not. If you are interested in playing it, wait for it to go on sale. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you guys looking forward to Outlaws? If so, are you going to be getting it? Are you going to be waiting, or are you skipping it altogether? As we always say here, we are UR Echo Base Network. Until the next one, guys, we'll see y'all later.